Welcome back. The introduction of new online payment solutions plays a role in consumers' buying habits. The F&B Bureau of Economic Research Consumer Confidence Index shows an increase from 2 in the first quarter of this year to 5 in the second quarter. Increased security and a frictionless user experience is driving online shopping as a channel of choice. According to research, consumers are switching more of their spend online, as confirmed by strong e-commerce growth of 20 to 25%. However, there's still high demand for credit, according to TransUnion. So to tell us more about this is Derek Cikes, who is the Commercial Director of Payflex. Welcome to our program.
Hi, Colin, and then hello to your viewers.
Yeah, let's start with an overall view of the behavioral patterns of consumers regarding their expenditures.
So you spoke about 20 to 25% growth in the online retail trade. That number doesn't quite do it justice. In 2018, there was about 14 odd million people buying online. In 2019, that number is expected to be closer to 20 million. So that number's grown quite considerably in just 1 year. And we're seeing that happen across all the different categories in that retail space.
So most of the time you see that we say that online shopping is growing,
yes,
but try and go to the malls. It's chock-a-blocks and, yes, like traffic is bumper to bumper. Is it on the face of it that the numbers are not going down at the malls, or is it because it's peak time, maybe month end?
Well, so there's a couple of trends. Obviously, month end, there's going to be 1 million people in the shops. Come closer to the end of the month, you're going to have less people in the shops. What we see in the online space is that the retail or the consumers are there all the time. People are able to access it through their phones, through their tablets, through their PCs, laptops, etc. So they're able to shop at any time. The moment they see something nice on TV and they want to see where to get it, they go on and have a look, and then they're able to access it through any of the retailers that are there at that time. So there's a massive demand, and it's growing.
So what are the push factors, especially the incentives that are making consumers to be interested and also impacting on purchasing decisions?
So, Colin, I think that's human nature. I think you'll agree, the moment you see somebody wearing something nice, you want it as well. And that's the same for cars, it's the same for toys, it's the same for electronics. And I think the advent of the online retail shop is giving the consumer that many more points to go and have a look at it and compare and find the best deal for themselves. And that's what we're seeing through the Payflex business.
And we also hear that the subdued economic conditions affect how consumers spend. Why is it that we are having an economic downturn but an uptick in sales?
So I think there's two things that I think that are driving that. You may have an economic downturn, but people still want to buy things. Just because the economy is doing badly, it doesn't mean you and I don't want to buy the next car or the next suit or the next shirt. What we're also starting to see is that the transfer of people from the bricks and mortar mall to an electronic mall is being driven by a couple of factors. The one is in hard economic times, people are looking for a deal. Online, you're able to find a lot of deals. You're able to shop a number of different sources all at one time and get a good comparison. So you're able to get your best deal and get the best bang for your buck. You're also finding that as the shopper in that market starts to change, more and more people are moving online. You know, one of the stats that always blows my mind is that 25% of the market today are people that were born and have never known not having a cell phone or an internet connection. And that number is just going to grow year on year on year. And, you know, we kind of refer to them as the thumb generation because everything they do is they're doing with their thumbs. You know, swipe here, swipe there, you get a date there, you buy something here, all with the thumbs. And that's getting easier and easier. So I think to a certain extent, it's the change in the market, and to a certain extent, it's people trying to find good deals online.
Is it influenced by also extensive credit extension?
Sure. You're kind of touching on something that's quite close to our hearts at Payflex. Credit extension is, in our view, it's a big trap, because what happens a lot of the time is people don't understand that the cost of debt actually takes away from their future buying capabilities. And so what we've done in the Payflex environment is try and help consumers with a payments plan that is interest-free, charges free, and there's no hidden tricks involved in the whole process.
So what about increase in debts in as far as the usage of credit cards and also people taking short-term loans?
I think we're talking about a situation where we know in South Africa, majority of people will have either a personal loan, they'll have a credit card, and invariably they'll be going and having a look at one of the micro lenders out there as well. Last year we were sitting in a situation where around about 80% of the population were up to their shoulders in debt.
What goods are driven in the market? Is it food? Is it luxury items? And also, what about those items that are really needed at home, like fridges, television, and so forth, appliances?
So if we're talking about online trade, the top sellers in that space are fashion, followed closely by electronic goods and toys. Then you get into books, and last on the list is food in terms of online purchases. But if you're talking about the use of credit to access those things, you're probably seeing a slightly different use of that, and that's probably starting a little bit higher on the list in terms of things like appliances, electronics, and food. That's one of the worrying things at the moment, is more and more being bought on credit.
And trust issues?
Trust issues, sure. Lots of trust issues. One of the things that we've seen in the bricks and mortar world, you're able to pick up the goods, play with it, touch it, so you know it exists. In the online world, it's not that easy. So, one of the things that we offer as Payflex is the ability for you to buy what you want at that moment, have it sent to you, and only pay 25%. And then the remaining 75% you pay over 6 weeks, which allows you to get the good, trust that you've got the right thing, and then pay for it afterwards.
All right. Well, thank you very much for making time to speak to us. That's quite insightful.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yep. Okay.